Hello and welcome to the Hedera HashCast. That's right, baby. We're bringing it back. I'm your host, Jake, and today I'll be talking with the man I know best by his screen name Pluto, but you may know him as Tyler, CTO of HashPack, the #1 wallet on the Hedera Hashcraft network. Hello, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not #1 in the ecosystem good.
Never too late.
Never too late. We'll see. We'll see about that. I am very comfortable being a nice #2. Now, although HashPack is indeed the #1 wallet on the hash graph, before this interview, a little behind the scenes, I was contractually obligated to say that at least 3 times. Um, but we're not talking about that today, are we?
Apparently not.
We're not. No. What we're here to talk about today is, in my opinion, your main contribution to the Hashgraph community, which is a little Discord server, not so little anymore, that you created in March 2021 called Club HBAR. Now, for listeners who may not be familiar, um, I'm not going to explain what Discord is, uh, but Club HBAR is the most active / longest running Hedera focused online community we have. Now, before the Hedera Redditors come out, you're really going to try to talk about activity? I've seen the posts. I've seen the amount of users. A lot of names repeating. So just you stay in your gamer chair, all right? Now, please tell me a little bit a little bit about why you decided to create Club HBAR all the way back in the prehistoric days of 2021.
Yeah, I mean it comes down to just nothing really existed back then. There were, like, I think there was even a Facebook group that was longer, but
Oh,
I was just looking around crypto. Like, I wasn't really in crypto before that, and HBAR looked like a fun place to build, and I was like, okay, there must be some community somewhere, and I just went looking, and I'm a Discord user. That's kind of my main. Uh, I don't know what you'll call it, like social whatever.
Vice.
Yeah, yeah, Vice, yeah. And yeah, I couldn't find anything, so I just made a Discord, started kind of shilling it around anywhere I could, and people slowly started joining, and it's kind of ballooned over the years into you know a pretty cool place.
So what was your life like around this time when you're creating it? Are you, are you sleeping on a friend's couch? Are you sleeping in your childhood bedroom, staring at a poster of Josie and the Pussycats?
I was working at a insurance company as a
Oh my
dev,
gosh.
very very enterprisey, very corporate, and crypto was kind of like it was very popular back then, right? I don't know if that was during COVID or when that started exactly, but it was around that time, I think. But
It was definitely COVID, but like when people think about COVID, it's a lot of the like aftermath time, but it was definitely
yeah,
COVID.
yeah. So it that was a super popular time in crypto, and I just thought, yeah, it's let's do something here.
It's interesting, not to sidetrack on COVID, but COVID really just like, I know it changed the entire trajectory of my life. It seems like it kind of at least partially changed the trajectory of your life.
For sure.
Trajectory is a hard word to say. But yeah, I didn't really think about that. Like outside of the whole COVID thing, I know a lot of people who had like big life changing moves. Completely changed vocations and what I was focusing on. I used to teach. It was horrible. Uh, and COVID definitely helped push me out because it just got so horrible.
hmm
Because I was doing like film and media classes
Oh yeah.
and do it online, and I'm like teaching people how to like do a TV studio. Was the main thing. It's like I can't. It's like the expensive equipment is what I'm teaching.
It's a hard
So
one to do
that's
online. Yeah.
yeah. I wonder if people went crazy with crypto too for the same reason. They're just like, man, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Maybe I can throw my money into some randomly changing assets in this uncertain time. No, that's
It
interesting.
was the 24-hour trading that got me. Was like, you work all day and it's like, oh, the market's closed now. When I get home, like I can't really like trade. Um, but yeah, trading like at like 11 p.m. uh worked pretty well.
Worked well for you, I
It worked
guess.
well for me.
I
Discovered
my
leverage,
trading my trading didn't work so well for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
If we're doing on predictions and performance, I'm not great when it comes to that. Um, so there have been and currently are quite a few Hedera focused online communities. However, in my personal opinion, gotta stay at least obviously biased. There's one aspect that I believe puts Club H Bar above the competition, and that is impact. Tyler, could you please tell me a little bit about the impact, the overall impact Club H Bar has had on the growth and development of the Hedera retail community? Because there's a lot of stuff that has happened.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it all kind of started, yeah, when people started joining, started talking, and it's like, okay, how do we like do stuff on Hedera? And it's I won't retell the whole story, but ultimately, like we sort of met up with some people and started making HashPack through there, and ultimately the goal there was, okay, we need a way to have dApps on Hedera. Like that was the foundational aspect that I think was really missing, and there just wasn't really a way to connect dApps to the wallets at the time. And that kind of gave birth to Hash Connect, and then things like Saucer Swap came up. Growth got made. there's
I'm
there's a whole
sorry.
bunch. There's a whole
I guess
bunch
you're
of
saying the good and the bad, you know.
there's a whole bunch of kind of stories like that, and like my whole goal with kind of Club H Bar was to really just put people in a room together to do retail stuff. Like that's kind of still the goal, is just like, we need stuff to do on Hedera, and the way that gets made is kind of people talking and seeing what needs to be made, and like who's willing to work together to build that stuff. Yeah, I probably
Well,
left out a bunch of stuff there, but
Well, I've been around Club H Bar for a long time too. For the better. I definitely would say that if it were not for Club H Bar, I don't think I would be involved with the Dare community. Certainly not as strongly. But I don't think I would be involved for this many years. So I definitely, I mean, this is kind of the point of the episode is I see a lot of value in it. I think it's brought a lot of value in it. And far outside just, oh, well, like SauceSwap came from here. HashPack obviously came from here. Other projects have come from here. Yeah, I mean, that's what you want. You want to have a place where people can just feel comfortable to chat, maybe DM a guy, and it's not a scammer. You have regular people because you could have, and I've seen happen. You could have squashed the community easily, easily at many points. But you've always been to me very active, attentive, pay attention, and care that it exists. Which a lot of people use it as like an ego thing, or they make the problem of like, yeah, this is like Hedera focus, but it's really about me. You could have very easily been like, it's really a hashback server. You know, let's dial back in on me, which happens a lot,
yeah,
and especially in the early days, there was a lot of that going on. When we talk about like other Discord servers that are kind of like, not really competition, but sort of competition with Club H Bar, they would you know try to turn the focus back on themselves, and people would get bored and leave. So having just a
yeah.
place to chat is nice.
I think that's an important one. Is like, I never wanted to like try and monetize it, or like make it some sort of like alpha trading group, like you pay a subscription and get my alpha trades, like stuff like that. I'm not into that. I want it to kind of be as unbiased of a place as possible. Like I try not to like impose like will on the users, like people FUD all the time. Like people
Yeah.
like things that I don't like. Like it's fine. Like that's kind of the atmosphere, I guess, I want to put out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be there's always controls and we have to have controls more and more because of scammers
Yeah.
usually. Um, but yeah, that libertarian type mindset I think is a big reason why it's been so successful. Also, yeah, not being like, I can give you trading tips. Don't worry, bro. Give me $50 in H bar and I'll give you the goo goo roll. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and
there's
like
a
scammers are like a big one. Like it's pretty hard to get banned. You have to either like be very like trolling really hard and like just like making a big mess or like scamming. That's basically it. Yeah.
Now, you have been, as I said, actively engaged with the Hedera retail community for some time. And, I think it's good to have some perspective on where we as the giant multi-celled organism called the retail community have come from and where we're going. So if you were to personify everybody in the retail community as one guy, what kind of guy was that guy in 2021? Like what was he doing?
Um. Oof.
Is this a funny guy? Do you want to hang out with this guy?
I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Maybe
Let
like a
me
guy in a suit, kind of like down on his luck. Maybe that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, maybe wanna be corporate,
Yeah.
unsure. Yeah, because I feel like the retail community for Hedera has changed so much, and I think maybe they're not even as aware how much they've changed, but the average person on the Hedera subreddit, which I make fun of a lot, mostly because they're funny, and easy to make fun of. That's typically the metrics I use. Uh, Especially early on, they were like, "We don't need any of these dApps. We don't what do you Lehman needs to focus on Lehman and whatever he does with the computer. He needs to not a real understanding of what exactly the potential for the Hashgraph network was, but I read the white paper and it said a lot of stuff about enterprise. So they should just do that and not really being tuned in with the general crypto sphere or the general crypto market. It was a lot easier to be siloed in that way early
Mm.
on. It was kinda like you picked a sports team. It's like you picked a sports team and you're like, "I don't care about the other teams. I don't care what they're doing. I don't know. I just care about my guy, and he better do
Mhm.
good because I put my life savings into this."
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of like dichotomy there between like the types of people on HBAR. Like you got enterprise maxis, retail maxis, and like people in between, right? I don't think there's a right answer. I mean, it's ultimately like you could say like Hedera focuses on enterprise as like a first party focus, sure. But like the chains there, it doesn't really matter if you like or dislike retail, right? Like we can use it just the same. And like affect change too, like hips and stuff. Like retail makes an impact for sure. And yeah, it is weird, kind of that two types of people though. And just when their heads butt, it's always interesting.
Well, yeah, so then, kind of past 2021, in the 2022 to 2024 range, big retail focus. People are doing NFTs, people are doing meme coins, people are trying to find stuff to do on the network. And then you have like, those retail focused people like really, saying like, well, this is the only way to live.
Mhm.
Retail pays the bills, baby. This is the only way to live. Uh, there's challenges with where we are now. But one thing I do like about where we are now is both camps have kind of gotten checked at this point, and they're a
Mhm.
little more relaxed about declaring things and saying, this is what the Hedera network is about. This is what the Hashgraph is about. People are a lot more relaxed. And maybe that's a bad thing. There was a lot of energy early on. But I do like that there does seem to be, because it's a bunch of people that come in and out.
Yeah.
So you can't really be like, oh, everybody learned their lesson and moved on, because there's a bunch of random people that come in and out. But it does feel like there has been some continuity and there has been some like growth, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it goes up and down, in terms of kind of what people perceive as the state of the ecosystem, I guess. But ultimately, like on the long term, it's been up, right? Like we got infrastructure, we like things are pretty smooth now compared to 3 or 4 years ago. Like it's generally pretty easy to do stuff now. Yeah, the infrastructure's matured like a ton. And yeah, I mean, there's the down spots too, that are what they are. But yeah, it's ultimately, we're in a good place.
I feel like people have been taking the bear a lot better than previous years. Not as much screaming
Yeah, not so many crash outs. Yeah,
and being like, this, you got, or like trying to convince everybody to leave ship with them. Like, you guys don't understand. You're going to lose everything. Everybody's been through a few. It's just like, I mean, maybe, maybe, but I'm tired. Okay. It's on a
yeah,
ledger. I don't
yeah.
remember what my
Our
stuff
emotional
was.
reserves are just done. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not in the high school phase anymore. So turning it back onto you, how has your relationship with the Dare retail community changed since you founded HashPack Wallet?
Um, I mean that's a tricky one. I feel like 90% of my time here, I've been doing hashpack. So I mean, I think it's good. Um, yeah, I mean, I get exposure to a lot of kind of projects. Um, I have a lot of conversations, I think, with projects and like people at Hedera, and um, it's been an interesting journey, that's for sure. Um, and I mean, a lot of people like want a lot of stuff from me a lot of the time. I mean, and I try and like do as much as I can. But small indie company. You can't do everything, but I think in general it's been pretty good. Like I've made a lot of friends here, a lot of good people. And yeah, I mean, I think I have a good relationship with retail. Yeah, hope so.
I think you might be okay for now. I'm sure well, this kind of ties into my next thing is like I'm sure your relationship with the people like through the course of you founded Hashpack, it was not the number one wallet and then it was the number one wallet. I'm sure your relationship with the people at Hedera slash Hashgraph has changed a lot over the years. Has that been in
It,
a positive direction? Are we allowed to say if it hasn't been?
I'll have to check my contracts here, but yeah, no,
Get your
it's
NDAs
been
out.
good. It's been overall, yeah, really good. I mean, I try, I coming from like an enterprisey background, like I try and be as self sufficient as possible. Like like I uh generally just try and do what's right for like what I think is right for retail, rather than kind of just doing what people ask of me, uh, like from top down, I guess. But it's a fine line. But yeah, they're the Hedera people are great. Meeting all these people at like HederaCon and stuff, it's been awesome. And yeah, I think there's a lot of legit people uh, working on this stuff. So yeah.
I do remember it's something that seems to happen with every project that eventually gets a little bit more dominant in our space is that initially there's just like a big rejection. maybe big is overstated for some cases, but for example, with Saucer Swap, like that was not the team that the HBAR Foundation was pushing for to be the dominant DEX. HashPack was not the wallet that the people at Hedera, Hashgraph, HBAR Foundation, whatever, were pushing to be the dominant wallet. Do you think, based on the fact that the kind of the independent Mavericks kind of won, do you think that that was a learning opportunity that Hedera has kind of grown from, or do you think that there's still kind of that barrier?
Um, Probably a bit of both. I think, I mean, a lot of the people back then at the foundation aren't there anymore, right? And they haven't been there for a while. So, and I think that a lot of the people definitely saw what was going on and was like, okay, like retail chooses what retail wants. We can't kind of enforce what is popular. Um, and yeah, I think it's a great example of just like the strength that retail does have when it comes to how ecosystems are like shaped and like what happens in them ultimately. I guess it's democracy manifest in a way.
There's some free market vibes, I'll say. Some free market vibes. It it was a little weird when I mean, I don't I maybe you can't say candidly, but Blade was not a very good wallet. It just didn't work very well. It had a lot of issues, but it really did feel like that it was being rammed down our throats for a long time. At least the attempt. It didn't really work at all. I don't know if there was ever any point that it really worked. Kind of the rival wallet for Hashpack was Exact for a while before they slipped on that giant banana peel, which gotta love a good giant banana peel. I mean, that's the free market, right? That's free right there.
Yeah.
Um, but I would hope that they've learned. I don't know if we kind of what ties into what I was getting at with like your relationships, right? When you're the head of a big DApp on the hash graph, is I feel like maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. It must be kind of tough balancing the insider knowledge about the development, the internal politics, the requests, as you said, coming from on high. I know Lehman and Mance crashed your pool party the other weekend. And let's just say the bathing suits they wore did not leave much to the imagination. But is
Ye-
that something you struggle with?
Um, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's always a balance, right? But between like what kind of like we want to do internally and like what is like sort of the overarching like themes and goals of uh Hedera. Um and yeah, I mean it, we just kind of yeah try and thread the needle, I guess. It's tricky sometimes for sure. Um but I think we get it done pretty well.
So I imagine that at some point, the amount of active attention that you personally need to allocate to Hashpack and the Hedera ecosystem will diminish. I imagine that.
Maybe.
Hopefully that's true. What are some other projects or passions you might want to pursue in the future?
um I mean, all kinds of stuff, if you asked me that like a year ago, probably would have had a different answer. But like all this AI stuff has really like opened up kind of like the potential things that I'd be interested in kind of doing, just because like it's so easy to like learn stuff now, like to get into like weird niche things that probably would have been like very hard to get into before. Like I'm a big gamer, like super into that. I've got a side project launching probably next weekend. It's a like a gaming assistant. Um,
We got a plug, folks. What's it called?
it's called Game Burrow. It's got a Twitter. You can check my Twitter. It's pinned. But yeah, that's something I've been interested in, mostly just to learn how to like build stuff with AI, like that uses AI. It's like Clippy, like a Clippy for video games. That's my pitch. But yeah, this has
Oh,
been a little side project. And like home
as long
automation
as it's not
stuff.
that
Yeah,
purple monkey.
maybe you can make it whatever you want. So you could put the
Do you
purple
remember the
monkey.
purple
Oh
monkey?
yeah, yeah.
What was his name?
Was it like Ask something? No, that was a different thing.
You're
I don't
thinking
remember.
Ask Jeeves. No, he
Yeah,
was like
no.
a he was it was one of the many bonsai buddies, I believe they were
I
called.
think Bonsai Buddy. Yeah,
I don't remember the purple ape's name though.
I don't
I
know.
guess we'll never know.
Lost. We don't have the technology anymore.
It is nice with AI. You don't have to read books anymore.
Yeah, it's like decimated the tutorial landscape. Like Stack
Oh,
Overflow is a ghost town. Like it's crazy.
thank goodness. Well, that and like one thing that I do think, relating to your project you're working on, one thing that I do think it could be better about is game knowledge because I was playing they added the GameCube Fire Emblem game to the Nintendo Switch Online thing. I was like, "Oh, I never owned that. I'll play that. I like Fire Emblem." And I was like, cuz with the older Fire Emblem games, there's always like hidden stuff that you'll never find unless you have like a guide.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, AI, look, I know there's going to be some stuff that is like my game's going to be ruined because they were harder back in the day. My game's going to be ruined if I don't get this upgrade. Is there anything like that I need to worry about?
Yeah.
There's a special ring over here. That's it. All wrong information. And I like almost like soft locked myself. I was so mad because AI was just completely wrong about the video game.
Confidently wrong.
Confidently wrong. They were spitting in my face. "Oh, well, in this level, you'll find." I'm like, that's a different game. What are you talking about? So they need to be better about that. That's the real use case.
Yep.
Me
Exactly.
playing old games and wanting to cheat and it not helping me. So I was going to ask you if, you feel positively about the trajectory of your professional life, but it seems like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we brag at all?
Nah. Not so
You
much
don't you
into
don't you
chilling
don't
and
strike me as a braggadocious fellow.
no. Yeah. It's was it promise less and over deliver or whatever. That's kind of my goal. Yeah.
Something like that. Speak softly and carry a big wallet, I heard. Well, is there if Hedera never came into your life, where do you think you would be?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Would you
I
still be
mean,
at the insurance company?
no. The enterprise life's not for me. That's for sure. Uh, I mean, it's hard to say. Like I've made like a billion side projects over the last years, and eventually something sticks. HashPack stuck, so I ran with it. Um, I don't know. It could be all kinds of things I could have been, but yeah.
Is that where you find you get a lot of your motivation is kind of that like creative engine of like working on different things?
Yeah, I'm a big like problem solver. I just like solving problems with code, I guess, and like just the way people interact with things. Like I think it's kind of like a fusion of like game dev stuff that I've done, and then like yeah, like more infrastructure enterprise stuff. I think there's a like interactive systems are really interesting, especially when you can use them to do things. And yeah, I mean that's ultimately where I kind of do stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Tyler, and for being such a wonderful guest. I do have one last question for you, probably the most important question.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are we going to make it?
I think so. I think we're gonna make it.
Okay, thank goodness, because I just, did an extra mortgage.
Not
I have
financial advice.
when are we going to be able to do our financial advice?
You need a license or something.
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
don't know.
thank you again for joining me. This has been the Hedera HashCast, and I hope I can still use the name. That has not been approved.